No, she was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how has your approach differed, would you say?
I think it's vastly different. And if you ask people, even in the legacy media, even the Trump haters, they will tell you the approach has been much different. Not just for me, but the entire White House. Oh, absolutely. They come in my office every day and they'll admit that off the record.
Oh.
And I asked him, how should we even describe this? And talking to our team after, I was drafting up a tweet and I was like, there are no words to put out a statement to describe this horrific scene.
1 minute she's cracking jokes on daytime TV and the next, poof, gone, vanished. Not a whisper, not a wave goodbye, just vibes, lawsuits, and a trail of designer luggage. And let's talk about that lawsuit. Oh honey, not just any lawsuit. We're talking an $800 million bombshell dropped by Trump's media darling turned professional grudge holder.
Nothing is off limits. They will go after you and your family, and everything is on the line when you decide to be a public servant and run. But I don't have no regrets.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job. The wokeness was put in place for a reason. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women.
Yeah.
See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world.
Karoline Leavitt. Apparently, she didn't just come for a coffee chat on The View. She says she was ambushed like she accidentally wandered into a Bravo reunion special. Karoline is claiming she got steamrolled on national TV, and now her legal team's dragging Whoopi, the producers, and half of ABC into court like it's the season finale of Scandal. And guess who allegedly wants in on the drama? The FBI. Because once the Bureau starts sniffing around internal emails, phone logs, and backstage whisper sessions, oh baby, we're no longer in defamation land. We've entered full-blown cover-up territory.
They're also exhausted, by the way,
Oh, they
because
must
we are
be.
doing so much.
And not even in a wussy, sad little way. Like, they must be exhausted because it's just nonstop.
It's insane.
Sources say Whoopi's lawyers were already waving the red flags, telling her this thing was spiraling. Not a slap on the wrist moment, but a pack your bags and maybe change your name kind of deal. And guess what she did? She ghosted. Hard. Allegedly canceled 2 big meetings, ghosted her team, and rerouted her entire schedule like she was playing 4D chess. According to one source, she booked a private jet out of Teterboro faster than Karoline could say, "See you in court." No entourage, no press. Just Whoopi, 2 assistants, and some unmarked Louis Vuitton bags that probably know more than we do. Now, to be fair, celebrities disappearing isn't new. But Whoopi, she's been front and center in Hollywood for decades. Awards, scandals, Oscar speeches, political firestorms, she's seen it all. So why bounce now, unless she knows something nuclear is about to drop? Because when someone with nothing to hide vanishes into thin air, it's called taking a break. But when someone gets hit with a lawsuit the size of a Marvel budget and disappears before the ink dries, that's called damage control in a Gucci disguise. Let's rewind the tape. Karoline Leavitt shows up on The View ready to do her little political PR tour, but from the second she sat down, it was clear she wasn't there for a girl talk. Joy Behar came in hot, wielding sarcasm like it was a lightsaber. Sunny Hostin went full anti-mode, dragging Karoline's age like it owed her money. And Whoopi? Oh, she took the mic and the moment. Cut Karoline off mid-sentence like she was fast-forwarding through a bad podcast. Zero respect. Zero chill. Just next-level dismissive energy. But here's the twist. Karoline didn't just walk out feeling disrespected. She walked out with receipts, a legal team, and apparently, the FBI's attention. Word on the street is that this isn't just about who talked over whom. It's about what was planned behind the scenes. Was Karoline set up? Were producers baiting her? And did Whoopi know? That's what this $800 million question is really asking. And if Whoopi did know what was going down, if she played even a little part in setting that trap, well then, that private flight out of New York wasn't a vacation. It was an escape plan. Stay tuned, kids. This tea is still piping, and we haven't even gotten to the depositions yet. This wasn't your average political skirmish. Nope. Karoline didn't flinch, didn't cry in the green room, didn't post some cryptic "God gives his toughest battles" Instagram story. She called her lawyers and Honey, they didn't just bring smoke. They brought the whole legal wildfire. What started as a messy interview turned into a courtroom cage match, and Karoline wasn't playing. She slapped Whoopi Goldberg with an $800 million lawsuit, because apparently awkward interview now comes with a billionaire price tag. But let's be real, this wasn't just a my feelings got hurt situation. Karoline brought evidence. We're talking emails, DMs, receipts. Allegedly, show producers were laughing it up behind the scenes, planning her downfall like it was a high school prank. Leaked messages allegedly show producers mocking her before she even stepped on set, calling her names, plotting questions designed to trap and humiliate her on live TV. This wasn't spontaneous chaos. According to that legal filing, this was a rigged circus with Karoline as the clown. She wasn't invited to share her views. She was baited, set up, and thrown to the lions for ratings. And when you've got screenshots of producers planning the hit like it's a Netflix crime doc, yeah, that's not just defamation. That's sabotage with a studio audience. And what did Whoopi do? Well, let's just say her PR team earned every cent of their retainer that week. They scrambled out a carefully worded statement, probably hoping the internet would scroll past it by dinner time. But nope, this fire caught wind, and Karoline's receipts became public enemy #1 for the network. Then the fallout began. Advertisers backed out, ratings tanked, viewers started flipping the channel. Because this wasn't just about Karoline, this was about how one of America's most watched talk shows might be weaponizing its platform against voices they don't like. Once the lawsuit landed, fans and critics alike were asking, is this journalism or just mean girl politics in designer heels? And as for Whoopi, the cracks started to show. Insiders said she was no longer the chill, joke-cracking Whoopi we've seen for years. She showed up late, snapped at staff, was reportedly arguing over lighting and scripts like the whole show was out to get her. Her once effortless charisma? Gone. Replaced with stress, tension, and enough under-eye baggage to qualify for TSA pre-check. And then came the moment everything shifted. Those legal documents hit her desk. And just like that, the vibe changed. This wasn't just a PR mess anymore. It was real, raw courtroom drama. And for Whoopi, the weight of that $800 million claim must have felt like a grand piano falling from the sky. Because this isn't just about what she said. It's about what she allegedly knew and when. And if those internal emails prove Whoopi had even the slightest clue what was being planned behind the scenes, then she's not just the face of the show. She's the fall girl, which is maybe why she dipped faster than a cameo in a Lifetime movie. No goodbyes, no farewell show. Just whispers, jet engines, and a first-class seat on the Get Me Outta Here Express. So now the big question is, what did Whoopi know? And how far was she willing to go to avoid testifying under oath? Because Karoline's not backing down. The lawsuit's in motion. The FBI might be watching. And Whoopi Goldberg? She might have just made the most expensive exit in talk show history. Grab your popcorn. This tea's not just hot. It's federal dot. What used to be TV's most delicious drama buffet now feels like watching your aunts argue after therapy. Awkward, stiff, and painfully self-aware. Yep, the queens of controversy have lost their crown, and even the audience knows it. Instead of dragging guests and sipping mimosas like it's just another Tuesday, they're now trying so hard to behave. It's giving courtroom energy. And the fans? Baby, they're not fooled. They're lighting up the comments like it's Black Friday at Best Buy. Goldberg ran like a coward. Finally, the mean girls are being held accountable. Karoline Leavitt just did what America's been waiting years for. So let's cut the fluff and ask the real question. What the hell is going on with Whoopi? Is she ducking lawsuits like dodgeballs? Or did her PR team finally wrestle the mic out of her hands and say, girl, just breathe? Either way, this mess is just heating up. The lawsuit is still cooking, Karoline's giving pitbull energy, and The View, they're spiraling faster than a Real Housewife with a broken NDA. Drop your hottest take in the comments. Smack that like button like Joy Behar smacks common sense. And don't forget to subscribe for all the shade, scandal, and savage receipts you won't see on daytime TV.